This week on the Poorly Drawn Arsenal animated podcast, we talk Rob Holding's retirement,
Rashford's goal for Arsenal?
and we take an impossible quiz. All that and more. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Poorly Drawn Arsenal podcast. I'm Jacob. I'm the man behind Poorly Drawn Arsenal, and with me, as per usual, is Hunter. Say hello, Hunter.
Hello, Hunter.
Fantastic. All right, so let's get into the first topic of today, the match that just finished, Arsenal and Manchester United. All right, so Hunter, I went through a lot of different emotions in this match. I guess just two, now that I think about it again. One part of it was I hate sports, and the other one was I love sports. And I kept flipping back and forth over and over in that match. So I guess, what's your big picture vibes from that match?
This was a roller coaster.
Not even a rolling coaster, but a coaster that
roller
moves.
Coaster. Oh yeah, baby. It's also my birthday, so it was.
Right. Happy birthday.
Thank you. It was happy birthday to me, and then not happy birthday to me, and then very much happy birthday to me.
Well, I'm glad that they finished on happy birthday to you.
Oh yeah, me too. I was really worried it was going to be a terrible birthday to me.
Right. Yeah. Well, not at all. Almost the opposite. Great birthday.
Yeah. Because, this is all about me.
Yes. Arsenal plays for you.
For
the
me.
Walrus. All right, so let's dive into it a little bit. Starting off with, I don't like starting here because of the end result, but Kai Havertz had that missed kick in front of the net with only the keeper to beat. The reason I want to talk about this is only because I feel bad for the guy.
Yeah.
He's kind of been a scapegoat for the last couple of results or matches where we haven't necessarily looked good. And so I feel bad.
Yeah, it just started on kind of a bad foot with Arsenal fans, right? He's from the place we don't like to buy players for.
Right.
He was a surprising buy for a lot of money.
Yep.
He's replacing Granit Xhaka, who we all loved always forever. He seems to have had he's got an unfortunate vibe around him right now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the best way to say it is that he's escaped out of the prison that was Chelsea, and now he's reacclimating to society. And so he just needs time to understand what a computer is.
Yeah. He went in a long time ago.
Yes, before computers. So we're talking 1940?
Did they have the big reel-to-reel kind of computers then?
Well, from my little bit of knowledge from Benedict Cumberbatch movies, he was in that one movie where he kind of created a computer to hack the Nazi codes.
Sure, Imitation Game.
Thank you. So I kind of view that as the start of computering. Again, this is from a movie.
Yeah.
And not necessarily history.
It's difficult to talk to you sometimes because a lot of your references are just Benedict Cumberbatch movies specifically.
Yes. I only know about mysteries, Sherlock Holmes. Mm-hmm. I only know about history-wise, I only know about World War II because he was also in 1912. That's World War I.
Sure.
So I only know about the World Wars. And that might be, he's probably been in more movies, but that's all I can think of off the top of my head.
The mystical side of the Marvel Universe.
Oh, yes. I know about time travel. No. Dimensions. Ultimate Dimensions.
Sure.
Alternate, not ultimate. Ultimate Dimensions is where they only play Frisbee in those dimensions.
It's a dimension that's like football, but not quite.
Yeah, it's just Frisbee.
And you know about British guys doing clipped New York accents.
Yes. But again, that's my entire knowledge of the universe. And, no, more than the universe. Multiple universes. So going into this, so I feel bad for Kai. Moving on to really the next big thing that happens is we had this kind of unrelenting pressure And you get this feeling that a goal is going to happen, and then it does, but it happens for United. Rashford scoring against us, which feels like a yearly tradition that we just have to like understand that he is contractually obligated to score a goal against us.
Yeah, it does feel like he's one of those guys that just is in the right place to score a goal against us. We're vulnerable to a counterattack.
He loves countering.
He loves to do a counterattack. He's really good at it. That's why he got all that money.
Mm-hmm.
Just one of those things.
It felt inevitable,
Yeah.
and it was the thing that I wrote when Rashford scored, because yet again I took notes. The thing that I wrote was things I don't like to see. Manchester United players happy.
Yeah.
Because there was a specific moment where Onana is celebrating to the Manchester United players, because I think they were at that end at that time, and he's like, arms up, he's really pumped, and the the thing that makes that so beautiful is about 2 minutes later, Arsenal take the ball up the field and score, and Onana is trying to calm his team down. He's going, "Whoa, guys, we got a little carried away there," and the two of those happening so quick back to back just made it was just a really funny moment that entered my heart and took a little residency in there.
I don't like him, but I did find watching him very entertaining over the course of
Yeah,
the whole game.
he's got this kind of crazy. It makes me nervous, and I'm obviously not a Manchester United fan, but his calmness at the
Yeah,
back,
he's just so casual with it. He's just like lazily kind of dribbling out. He's like way out of his box, just kind of.
it would stress me out if he was like our keeper.
Oh, it would make me really upset. But
Yeah,
he's not on our team, so it's just kind of funny.
yeah. I mean, he was acting almost as if like they're playing three at the back, and he was the third at the back at some points.
Yeah.
But yeah, so from there, actually, that Rashford shot was, I think, potentially their only shot on target, and because United only had point, and I mean, look, we're bad at this. Is not the statistics podcast.
No.
No, you've made a wrong turn if you're looking for statistics. But I'm going to raise a statistic here. United had zero point 0.1 xg from that first half. I don't know exactly what that means, but I gather that they were not as good as us.
I do think that was their only shot or shot on goal in the first half. It felt like we had the ball basically the entire time, except for that one moment.
Yeah, yeah.
And of course, they had to score it. But then immediately after, we scored it.
Which was fantastic. I love us scoring.
It's one of my favorite things.
Yeah, it just makes me feel good.
And the immediate reply goal is so satisfying.
And that's
It's
something
the
that Arsenal was really good at last season.
yeah.
Where to the point, there was a point last season where I was like, if we gave up a goal, I was like, oh no, we got this. I didn't necessarily feel that in this match because, it's United. So you have these underlining feelings and emotions about the
Sure.
match.
Everything's worst case scenario when it's, Manchester United or a big rival. You're just like, they're going to get all the breaks. We're going to feel bad.
Yeah.
But those immediate reply goals, and it was such a great, great move and a great hit from Odegaard.
Yeah.
Really emphatic. It's the exact opposite of giving, like the feeling of giving up a goal immediately after scoring.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of like, it almost felt like, do you know Dikembe Mutombo? Not
Of
personally,
course
but
I do.
do you know of
No,
him?
yeah, I've never met the man, but I
Yeah.
know of him.
I've never met the man either. But it kind of felt like United was like shooting a bat or shooting something into like a trash bin.
It's like so. It's the old Sports Center commercial.
Yeah, and he's just going, no, 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 not in my house. That felt like Odegaard's goal.
More people need to do the Matumbo finger wag. I need the no-no-nos on any big block.
This is kind of embarrassing, but I do it when driving. Like if I'm at the intersection and it's my
Uh-huh.
turn, I just go, no, no, no. and I do a little finger wag. It was pointed out to me recently that people can see me do that finger wag, and
Yes.
now I'm extremely self conscious about it
Yes.
because I thought my finger was far enough down where people couldn't see that. And now I've realized that for years I've been doing this.
This is so it just like on a routine intersection kind of thing.
Yeah, just your normal intersection. If somebody was trying to, like, go before it was their turn, I would go, no,
Oh,
no, no.
okay. I thought it's just every time it's your turn at the
No,
intersection.
no, no. It
You're
was if
bragging. You're
no,
showing
no.
off.
It was if somebody else was trying to go before their
That,
turn,
that makes way more
I
sense.
would politely go, no, no, no.
Yeah.
It's
That's
still
more
embarrassing. I don't feel great about it, but
that's more like school marm than it is
yeah,
Matumbo. No offense.
no, I'll take it. Cool. So moving on to the second half here, I wrote in my notes, I wrote, try not to talk about referees.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like it's an overdone thing. Everybody talks about referees, but we have absolutely no choice but to talk about referees. Let's start with the penalty. You and I were texting about it.
Mhm.
I kind of felt like it wasn't a penalty, but I might have missed an angle that you saw when I was writing things down. So, can you explain that angle?
Well, he's just getting barged into on both sides. Like what
The
it
only angle I saw was the one from behind, where it doesn't look like a trip, which I think is what they were potentially looking for.
yeah, I feel like on penalties sometimes what they look for is the guy got kicked in the ankle and fell down.
Right.
But to me it looks like he's getting sandwiched by Casemiro and Wan-Bissaka. He takes a knee to his knee from Wan-Bissaka and he gets kicked by Casemiro and he's just bundled into. But because in the replay from behind, it looks like the ball kind of gets away from him first when he's getting mushed into, and then Wan-Bissaka kicks air. It looks like, oh, okay, that's a dive, and it's all in slow motion.
Right. And because of how bad I am at taking notes and just kind of paying attention in general, that's the only angle I saw. So when I was like, nah, not a penalty, that's because that's the angle I was going off of.
And it's like the very zeroed in thing that it feels like the referee is looking at,
Right.
right? So you're like,
I also feel like if the referee's going, and I have no basis if this is true or not, but I feel like if the referee's going to the board, it's to overturn something.
yeah, it feels like 99% of the time he comes back and he's like, okay, I was wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. So that happened. And then from there, you had Harry Maguire come on, Johnny Evans come on, and and then it felt like a while before Arsenal made a substitution, but then we did, and but it still kind of felt like I wrote down here United's growing into the match, specifically Rashford. Rashford felt dangerous to me that entire time, but then it wasn't Rashford that we necessarily had to look out for in the very end there.
Yeah, it was Garnacho.
Yeah, which again, we gotta talk about referees. It from my eye that is protected with glasses, so it's not naked. It looked offsides to me.
Yes. At first, I thought it was offsides. And then he scored, and they didn't raise the flag, and they were celebrating, and they didn't raise the flag.
Right, the time keeps going, and you're like, maybe I was onside.
And I was on a phone call with my dad because he called me to say happy birthday. And I did swear.
In front of your
And,
dad.
oh, yes.
Yeah.
And then when it was overturned, I cackled maniacally and loudly into the phone.
I like to think that it was like you cackled maniacally so much so that like the phone is no longer at your ear and you're just holding up
Yeah,
the receiver part, like the
yeah,
microphone part of
just
it,
holding it right in front of me.
and just cackling into it. Yeah. Just to really get the point across that you enjoyed that.
I do celebrate a lot of either goals or overturned calls by cackling.
Yeah, I don't know if I go into the category of doing that, I am a big giggler.
Yeah, I giggle as
Yeah,
well.
so when I got turned over, I went strong into the giggle category of just like, I did one of
See,
those.
it starts as a giggle, but it becomes almost malicious, and then I'm cackling.
Which, I think cackling has a time and a place. And I think for anything that hurts Manchester United, cackling is the appropriate reaction, like
Yeah,
laugh reaction to that.
right. Because now they look like fools. They've celebrated for nothing.
And they were really celebrating. It
Oh,
felt, I got messages from my United friend,
oh,
and
really?
yeah, yeah. And I was like, okay, well, great. Now I have to deal with this.
Did you? I don't have any United friends. Did you give him one back after it was overturned?
uh,
Or are you're nice to your friends?
I I get so worried about backlash that I tend to like not overly celebrate anything just because I'm like, this is gonna come back and bite me. So I try like really hard to not do that.
Sure.
But that being said, I was really bad at doing that this time. So I was just there was a little. Did I relieve my? That's what I shouldn't say. Did I relieve myself in the group chat?
Hey fellas, check this out.
Hey fellas, I'm gonna relieve myself right now. No, did I enjoy it? Yes, a little bit more than I normally would have. Made all the more enjoyable a few minutes later. I don't know the time concept of time, but maybe it's a lot later. Of the corner where Declan Rice put us up ahead
I was still on the phone for that.
with your dad.
Yes, it
Oh,
was a
that's a
long
long
phone
phone
call.
call. Yeah. Well,
I
it's your birthday. There's a lot of things to cover.
Sure, it was mostly talking about American fantasy football.
Okay.
So not really relevant to the podcast at all.
No.
It was that, and I was slightly ahead of him, so I would react to things, and he'd be like, "Oh, wait a minute," and then he'd react to it. But that one, oh my god, the celebrate. Well, one, the deflection is really nice.
Yeah, going off of somebody that I don't necessarily like. I mean, I don't like a lot of Manchester United players, most of them. But going off of Johnny Evans was a nice little like, aha, gotcha.
I don't like the aesthetics of a deflected goal usually, but
Yeah,
to go ahead of a rival, it can feel really nice because then it's
yeah.
like, look at you, bozo, you did this.
Look who looks dumb now. Yeah, and you just celebrated a goal that didn't stand minutes ago.
And then Declan Rice getting like running over to the fans and then getting absolutely mobbed by both the team and the fans, where he was like
Yeah,
turtling up. That was very fun.
aesthetically, just chef's kiss after chef's kiss.
Yeah, beautiful. What a great first goal for the.
And it felt like it felt like a kick of frustration of just like go in the net.
Yeah,
And so it's nice to see that moment, see that have a payoff, I guess.
absolutely.
And then we got to talk Gabriel Jesus. You just watched it before we went live again. So you have it more fresh in your mind than I do. I only remember, and I don't even know who the player was, but the one player going on a slip and slide for what felt like the world's longest slip and slide when Gabriel Jesus cut up that player. But yeah, I guess talk us through
It
that
was.
goal.
Uh, I've forgotten most of it now, but it was a great pass. It was a great pass from Fabio. I forgot the part before Fabio gets the ball. All right, sue me, take me to court. I don't care. It wouldn't.
This is what you get on this podcast. It's just vague memories of patches of a match here and there, even though one of us took notes. But the notes are so incoherent. Like for an example, I did write Rashford scores for Arsenal, which is clearly wrong.
In your mind, he put on the Arsenal shirt. It was
He
a dramatic turn.
scored for us, said for the children, and then put the United shirt back on.
That would be so disorienting.
Just seeing a player
The worst
run in
kind
the
of uncle.
opposite direction.
Yes.
Like if you're Bukayo Saka in that moment and Rashford takes the ball and runs towards the net that you're trying to score on, do you stop him?
He got a shirt somehow. He put on the Arsenal shirt. No, if I'm Saka, I'm so confused. He's streaking towards the goal, his own goal. He's wearing
streaking towards it. He's not even wearing the Arsenal kit.
no. I meant
Yes,
streaking
know.
as in running fast.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Okay, yeah, he put on the Arsenal
But yeah,
shirt, then he got totally nude. He ran towards the goal. He scores. And then celebrates. And then puts the United shirt back on. He's like, okay.
And pretends like nothing happened.
That was weird, huh, guys?
Yeah, so these are the notes that we're working with here.
Yeah.
These are incoherent notes. But I guess we've mostly talked about everything. It just feels good.
Oh, it's so nice to win.
All right, so let's move on to our next topic. But first, a word from our sponsors. Is your house overflowing with donkeys? Are you consistently opening up your fridge and finding it filled to the brim with ass? Not only is this a very common household problem, but there's now also a solution. Consider donating your donkey to the Kai Havertz Donkey Sanctuary. We provide them with a safe and loving environment where they can live out their days in peace. Did you hear that? That's the sound of a donkey that could be living a happy and healthy life at the Kai Havertz Donkey Sanctuary. Donating a donkey is easy. Just open up your camera app, scan your donkey with a QR code, enter in your details, and our drones will be able to pick up your donkey in 5 to 6 months, depending on funding. So please, donate your donkey today and help us make a difference in the lives of these amazing animals. Thank you. Huh. I believe that's thank you in donkey. All right. So now let's very quickly talk about Rob Holding. In my notes, I wrote Rob Holding retires.
Jesus.
Which is
what's going on in your brain, man?
I don't know. Which I realize now is a mistake. He didn't retire. He now plays for Crystal Palace. What a nice man.
Yeah,
who is definitely not retiring. Continuing his career, and I'm happy for him in that he is going to someplace that he's probably going to play. I didn't see if he played today or not.
He didn't.
He didn't. Probably didn't make the registration time in time. Maybe, I don't know. But I'm also happy that he gets to stay in the city that he currently lives in.
Yeah, he doesn't have to move. I wouldn't wish moving on anybody if they don't want to move. What a pain.
Yeah, I just think that's a fantastic move for him. So I'm happy for the guy.
Oh yeah, a lovely guy. I'm glad we'll have some Rob Holding memories that we can always cherish, like
the Diego Costa one,
Diego Costa thing, or just the in general Rob Holding as human victory cigar.
Yeah. No, it's just and then holding time where we come in at the end of a match. And,
exactly.
Which now seems to be Jorginho time.
Comes in, does his little 5-3-2 hand gesture kind of thing.
It looked like you were miming.
So he comes in, I get trapped in a box.
That's why he's called a box-to-box midfielder. Anyway, let's move on to a new section of the show I'm calling the Poorly Drawn Arsenal Artificial Intelligence Quiz.
Oh, no.
All right, Hunter, do you like fun?
Love it.
So for this part of the show, I asked AI to come up with some really hard Arsenal quiz questions. I fed it Arsenal's history. And the AI gave me a bunch of questions and their corresponding answers to those questions.
Oh, no.
But there's an issue. All the answers that the AI gave me are wrong. This AI has an alternate Arsenal history. So Hunter, for this game, in order for you to get a point, you have to answer the question that you think AI would answer it as. So, for an example, if the question was, who's the current manager of Arsenal? Logically, you would say,
Mikel Arteta.
right. This AI would say it's Herbert Chapman.
Oh,
To make it a little bit easier for you, I will say that every question, like every answer, is somebody who played for Arsenal. So there's no completely out of the box thing going on or anything like that.
it hasn't fabricated a guy or anything.
Nope, all real people, all of that. So, are you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
All right. Who is the first Arsenal player? Sorry, who is the only Arsenal player to have won a Ballon d'Or?
Does it think Thierry Henry did it?
That is correct. According to this AI, Thierry Henry won a Ballon d'Or in 2003.
2003, congratulations.
Yeah, big news. Not true, but big news. All right, let's move on to the next one. Who is the only Arsenal player to have scored a hat trick in the Champions League final?
Does it think Dennis Bergkamp did it?
Ooh, no. So I'll give you part of it. It thinks that this player scored a Champions League final in 2006. But this player had retired by 2006. In fact, I think this player, let me see, they had been retired for about 11 years before this.
I'm never going to get it.
Alan Smith.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, next one. Which Arsenal player has the most assists in Premier League history?
Did it say Cesc Fabregas?
Hunter, you have 2 points so far.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at me. I'm as smart as a dumb computer.
A computer that knows absolutely nothing about Arsenal. All right, next one. 2 points so far. There are 2 left. Who is the only Arsenal player to have scored a goal in every Premier League game in a single season? So they scored 38 goals in 38 games.
Who would it think? Robin Van Persie.
No. Ian Wright did that in 1993 and 1994, according to this computer.
Okay.
I looked it up. It's not true. Ian Wright did not score 38 goals in 38 games in 1993 and 1994. So you've got 2, and we got another one coming up. And the last one is, which Arsenal player has the most appearances for the club?
And it's wrong.
And it's wrong. It says that this person has 582 appearances. I think the person with the most appearances is it David O'Leary? Is that right?
Oh, okay. I would say Ray Parlour.
Ray Parlour. That is a very good guess. It is not the correct answer, though. The correct answer, which is not the correct answer, is David Seaman. 582 appearances, according to this, for Arsenal. That is not correct. Most Arsenal appearances. So David O'Leary has 722. David Seaman. This says that David Seaman has 20 more appearances than he actually did. And this has been the poorly drawn Arsenal Artificial Intelligence Arsenal Quiz.
Folks, this is why you don't use artificial intelligence for anything you actually need to be right about.
Because it will be wrong. I do have like 20 more, so I figured we could probably play this again, unless you hated this. Did you hate it?
No.
Okay. It seemed like a fun idea to me.
I'm trying to get in the head of the computer, and it's challenging.
Yeah. I mean, there's some crazy ones coming up that we'll do like next week.
Teaser.
That is called audience retention. All right. This has been the Poorly Drawn Arsenal animated podcast. I'm Jacob. I'm the man behind Poorly Drawn Arsenal, and yet again, this is The Walrus. Thank you very much for listening to this podcast, or watching it if you're watching on YouTube. please like and subscribe if you're on YouTube, or subscribe and rate it. Rate us. No, well, I guess rate it. Rating us that's too much pressure. I don't need all that pressure. Feel free to rate the podcast on wherever you get your podcasts. We don't really know how to sign off of this podcast yet. But I found some nice music I feel good about.
It's like we're on a little adventure.
I imagine like a
Under
little
the sea.
submarine.
Yeah.
Hunter, look at us. We both said under the sea at the same time. All right, let's leave it there.